Okay, let me be the first to say how terrible Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 was. This game tried so hard to cram in a ton of different elements and characters, and that just did not work. Adding a vast majority of things to a game can be good. However, if you're lazy, like Mob Entertainment was with this chapter, and you just add the characters or elements without any depth or anything like that, then the game is bound to fail. After Chapter 3, there were some huge shoes to fill, due to that chapter being filled with amazing backstory, characters, and atmosphere for the respective setting. However, Chapter 4 itself was very disappointing. In the development of the story, not to mention its countless glitches that would prevent players from progressing the game, but the terrible villain and boss fight. You're telling me this big bad guy, who's supposed to be in charge of all of the toys, and they follow his every control and every demand, is beaten by 4 batteries. It took me longer to beat Huggy Wuggy than it did to defeat this guy. He's supposedly this huge threat and he gets defeated this easily. I call bullshit. This fool, called the Doctor, should have been the main and only villain throughout the chapter. I don't know why they made Dowie the main villain at the end. After playing the chapter for a little while, you find out that the Doctor is actually Dr. Harley Sawyer, who is one of the co-founders of Playtime Co. Other than giving us a few pieces of backstory, that's basically all we get. This dude kept creaming about Yarnaby and how, oh, Yarnaby's gonna kill you, gonna destroy you and shit. And along with the Nightmare Critters, other than how much of a big deal he was when he helped run the huge company, and while we're on the topic of Yarnaby, by the way, we had a major glitch that was not patched until months later, where he would be 2 times as fast as he should have been normally. This really put a huge roadblock in the game for some players who would get this glitch. I got this glitch. I recorded Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 but never ended up posting it due to me not enjoying the game whatsoever and not really having any fun with it at all. The Yarnaby glitch made it nearly impossible to get past his little segment. But if you did get past it, then you were treated with the death of that little shit. So in the end, it was all worth it. I loved watching that little fuckers die. And please tell me why they sponsored this little thing so much. After he was only in the game for like 5 minutes, I saw him on the cover of the trailer and the teaser for the longest time, but then they changed it to Dowie. I don't know if it was a cover-up for the real antagonist, but they did a great job because they even made a load of merch for that little fella. Now, I'm not sure why, but I guess it's a good marketing scheme, so it got people talking about the game before everything was loaded up, so I guess they're just geniuses and I'm stupid. Now let's not talk about the villains or anything for a moment. Let's talk about the god-awful world design and the puzzles. This stupid valve section wasn't even a puzzle, but half of the time when I was playing, the valve would disappear or it would make my game freeze. Then I would have to restart back 10 minutes before. This nearly got me to close the game. I was not having fun with it at all. Got me so mad, I was dead ready to just quit this entire game. From its predecessors, this game was extremely unpolished and just not playtested at all. The amount of graphical bugs and glitches that were left in the game at launch was actually kind of impressive, due to Mob Entertainment having a pretty good track record when it comes to glitches in their game being fixed quickly or just not having them at all. The previous chapters were typically not that long, with many different objectives and events to keep you entertained throughout the game. This game had a rough average 4 hours of gameplay in order to beat the game, and more than 3 hours of that was wasted on getting past a very pissed off Yarnaby. Dealing with bugs and glitches with a fat price of $20, this really was a kick in the balls to the fans of the franchise. Such as me. I felt like I got kicked in the nuts very, very hard. Now it's finally time to talk about the man of the hour, the Dough Man, Dowie. Tell me why he gets mad at us at the end. It was clearly Poppy's fault, and he goes all berserk on us for no reason. I still have no idea as to why he gets angry, but whatever. I don't care anymore. This dude was shown to be a family guy, basically Peter Griffin, at the start, saving us from Pianosaurus, by literally devouring him in front of us and showing us how nice and jolly he is, but behind that doughy little dumbass smile, there's a true monster. Then helps us get back to headquarters to meet the rest of his family in the span of an hour. And tell me why these little smiling critters aren't trying to murder us when literally every other smiling critter in the entire place is trying to rip our teeth out. I don't understand. It might have told us throughout the game, but hey man, I don't remember. He then does the typical video game side character good guy shit and tells us, the player, that we have to go kill the big bad guy. Shocker, right? At least in chapter 3, it had you basically do the same thing as chapter 4, but that's the thing. It's the same thing. They never really changed much about the chapter. They somehow made it worse. I mean, I might be rambling a little bit, but am I wrong? Let me get back on topic. Joey. He was basically a day one homie that turned into an op real fast. After Poppy decided to release the gas, it then killed everyone in the safe house somehow. And not Doughy. And those people, or toys, were practically Doughy's family. He then grieves about the loss of his family, and then he turns and looks at us and says, like, yeah, I did it, bro. But how would you know that? He then goes apeshit and tries to kill us, but he's fodder, so we beat him with a few saws and some ice. Boom, he's dead. This dude was so hyped up just to be killed pretty easily, just like the doctor. I just don't think he should have died this easily, since he literally went one-on-one with the prototype, and I'm guessing won, or at least escaped, but he's literally the only one in the verse who has done that. Justice for my man Doughy, Outer Versal. This game was just super rushed and not really made with care, like the chapters before it. If I had to say, I would say to remake the entire chapter from scratch and fix all the stupid issues that made this chapter unbearable to play. Because this game really does have an interesting premise and approach to it. It was just done so poorly, it's really a shame seeing a game with so much potential plummet down in a spiral straight down to fucking hell. But anyways, that's my short little rant. I really hated this game. They really, for the next chapter, chapter 5, I beg that they actually playtest this bitch and they actually fix the tweaks that are needed to actually play the game. I remember this one glitch that if you, after you beat the doctor, you could go up the elevator into the next room, and then if you couldn't find out where you needed to go, I went back down the elevator and then the whole game reset back to before I beat the doctor. I don't think I have the footage of it, but I'll try to find it. If I don't, I'm guessing somebody has it on the internet, because wow, this game was a catastrophe. I don't think I could ever play it again. But anyways, that's my little rant. If you guys liked it, please let me know if you want to see more rant topics like this, and if you guys want to see any other videos, topics, anything like that. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye, fellas.